support, and thank you guys for coming out today, and thank you for the drums and everything.
Yeah, thanks to everyone who comes out. We need to try and start making this a more frequent event with a building number of people, and we need to start taking more direct actions instead of standing on the sidewalks all the time holding these signs. We, as the 7 of us, at least who are here now, have pretty much come to terms with getting arrested and whatnot, and it really isn't that big of a deal. They fined us $25, and we're going to appeal the decision just to, try and talk about and speak out against the war more. But this is really where things get done. We need to start having marches in the streets. We need to start doing something, because when you think about it, the $135 that I'm going to have to pay and however many hours I spent in court today, none of that even equals one of the lives that have been lost over there. None of that equals even one of the bombs that dropped over there. We need to stop this. And there's no other way. A lot of people have tried voting. It doesn't really work.
About what went on today, or what went on January 11th, or what our plans are, or
yeah, I would like to hear what happened today, the whole process, what you all said. That's like a really big question.
We could do a reenactment.
Yeah, well, basically, we've been meeting for several weeks together to prepare. Our defense, we intended to go into the courtroom today, defend ourselves, try to navigate and also really stand behind the action that we took on January 11th. So we went in and basically entered our plea of not guilty, and then, I don't know, did it last about an hour or an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. We had an opportunity to start it off pleading not guilty, and then had an opportunity to cross-examine Officer Johnson, who gave us testimony about that we were in the street, and then we got to bring out in the process of the cross-examination that he had used very unnecessary force on that day, using a taser against Chris Hilbert, which we thought was completely unnecessary, but we were with that building. So we were able to get at that and also to sort of establish the scene with him, and then we called several other witnesses, Jahan Solehi, had a bunch of photographs that he presented, and then Liz and Nego both testified on behalf of us. But basically, our argument was that we had learned about this necessity defense, which says that a person, in responding to a greater emergency, has some leniency, if he's trying to prevent or respond to a greater emergency that's happening, has some leniency in breaking laws, right? Because sometimes we have to be able to respond by any means necessary in order to prevent things from happening. And so that's what we did that day, is that we went out there, and this food surge represented an escalation of the war. We felt like an escalation in tactics was necessary, and it continues to be necessary as we move forward. I've been to a lot of peace protests here in Greensboro, which have been wonderful, permitted, some unpermitted, and all these Democrats were swept into the House and Senate and still haven't been able to do anything, have their hands tied, and haven't been able to carry out people's will or be stopped. So I think it's time for us to really re-envision how we're approaching this situation and what we're going to do in order to bring it to it. So we really raised all of that before we today. And the judge and the DA really heard us out and gave us a lot of space. We were able to say all of that, really reiterated, have people offer their testimonies about why we were there, why we were there today, and why we were there. And I think that really reflects how out of touch the administration and the communicating foreign policy are with in this country, that even the judge and the district attorney here at the district court in Greensboro really wanted to give us